Welcome back to For Real. It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for the news. Today's ride takes us from Siem Reap Pagoda on the eastern side of West Barai to the spillway on the other side. To get there, we pass through some beautiful rural roads and a very interesting and picturesque village called Bante Chiu. Stick around to the end of this video for some views of the Barai, which is a staggering 7.8 kilometres long and 2.1 kilometres wide. It was built in the 11th and 12th centuries, and it's one of the largest hand-cut water reservoirs in the world. Pretty amazing. At For Real, we donate all of the money we earn from YouTube to charities in Cambodia. Here is the total we've donated so far. You help us to earn this money simply by watching our videos, so your time here on our channel directly helps people in Cambodia. A few days ago, we crossed the huge line of 10,000 subscribers. We never ever thought we'd achieve this milestone, so thank you very much for making it possible. Today is Wednesday, the 21st of December, and in this episode we will look at tourist numbers, Thailand's borders, the return of Angkor Songkranta festival, and improved conditions for the kingdom's sex workers. We'll also look at one man's attempt to break a size record and see if today really is the day of the jackal. The number of international tourists to the Angkor complex has gradually recovered, and in the first 11 months of 2022, the number is currently sitting at 225,000 foreign tourists. At the moment, between 1,800 and 2,000 foreigners are visiting each day, which is obviously a huge increase compared to the past 2 years. However, the number is still low when compared to the prosperous times prior to the pandemic, when as many as 9,000 international visitors went to Angkor each day. In these times, Angkor received up to 2.2 million international visitors each year, and it brought in $99 million in revenue just from ticket sales. It is predicted that foreign tourist numbers will continue to increase, as many airlines have resumed their flights to the kingdom. Also, many surrounding countries have reopened and dropped restrictions, making travel around the region much easier. Thailand plans to open all of its 97 land border crossings with Cambodia, Malaysia, Laos and Myanmar in 2023. The Thai Department of Foreign Trade, or the DFT, has announced its plan to push for the reopening of more land border crossings in the hope of boosting border trade next year and assisting with economic recovery. The plan will be accompanied by trade fairs in Laos, Myanmar and Cambodia to be held in several of the border locations. This week, we witnessed another thing that will make travel easier in Siem Reap. A fleet of Google Maps cars were in town gathering images to update Google Maps. As someone who spends an embarrassing amount of time on Google Maps, this is wonderful news. The street views in Siem Reap are nearly 10 years old, and most of the roads are unrecognisable compared to their present-day appearance. Many of the streets are not even mapped, so this is going to make a huge difference. After a 4-year hiatus, the much-loved Angkor Songkranta celebration is returning to the kingdom. The theme for Angkor Songkranta 2023 will be Dream and Hope, highlighting the desire Cambodians have to see prosperity in the kingdom. Angkor Songkranta is an annual festival held in Siem Reap during Khmer New Year. It aims to show the solidarity of the Cambodian family as a whole and contribute to maintaining the country's customs, tradition and culture. There will be some Guinness World Record attempts during the festival in Siem Reap from April the 14th to the 16th next year. Definitely some fun times ahead if you're going to be in town for those dates. In the 2015 Angkor Songkranta, 2 Guinness World Records were successfully achieved, including the giant sticky rice and the largest Madison dance. The giant sticky rice cake was made of 1 ton of sticky rice, and that included 507 kilos of pork, 499 kilos of beans, 499 kilos of coconut cream, 15 kilos of salt, 4 kilos of sugar, 3 kilos of pepper, and 26 kilos of garlic, no MSG mentioned. In the Madison dance, Cambodia set a new Guinness World Record with participation of 2,015 performers in 2015, beating Australia's 2014 record of just a paltry 1,155 participants. The event is expected to support the efforts of the government to attract 11 million tourists to the kingdom between 2021 and 2023. The announcement of Songkranta will pave the way for the Southeast Asian Games and the ASEAN Para Games in 2023. If you're planning on visiting Cambodia in May or June next year, take note of these dates. The Southeast Asian Games are the 5th to the 17th of May, And the ASEAN Para Games are the 3rd to the 9th of June. If you're visiting on or close to those dates, you might find that hotels and flights are more expensive than usual. Back to world records though. The president of Sokha Hotel, Sok Kong, says that his company plans to build a huge 100-metre high seated Buddha. That's 3 times higher than the world's current biggest seated Buddha. And where does he plan to build it? On top of Bokor Mountain in Kampot, of course. The huge Buddha statue will contribute to the support of Buddhism and the development of cultural tourism. In particular, it will be a huge attraction for millions of national and international tourists. The current biggest seated Buddha statue in the world is in Hong Kong and was completed in 1993. It's made of bronze. This project is expected to cost about 30 to 40 million US dollars, and construction will commence as soon as permission from the relevant ministries is received. A remarkable incident occurred in Phnom Penh after a resilient elderly woman who had been declared dead by her neighbours suddenly returned to life. The 70-year-old woman was found by her neighbours in her house after villagers had become concerned by the smell issuing from 2 dead dogs inside the house. A medical team was summoned to perform an autopsy, but during the examination, the elderly lady suddenly regained consciousness, surprising villagers and the medical team. She was taken to hospital for treatment. From one type of raise to another, the government has decided that sex workers will receive social security benefits which are currently available to workers in other sectors as well as to poor citizens in order to prevent discrimination against the workers. Authorities will conduct studies to gather statistics on sex workers in the country, including those both inside and outside the system. Sex workers who are considered to be inside the system are those who are freelancing at entertainment premises, such as nightclubs or beer gardens. Those outside the system are those offering their services on their own terms, mostly in public areas. Those who are working at the entertainment premises will receive a National Social Security Fund ID card, which will allow them to receive the same benefits from the government offered to workers at other registered workplaces. Freelance sex workers will be able to receive social equity cards or ID Poor, which provides access to government assistance for those earning less than $2.90 a day. There are an estimated 51,000 sex workers in Cambodia, with about 4,000 operating outside of the system. Although prostitution is not technically legal in the kingdom, a representative from the National Committee for Counter-Trafficking said sex workers who willingly provide services to clients are not considered offenders.
Now to a different kind of boom boom.
Oh dear, excuse me. 4 Chinese nationals and a Cambodian woman have been arrested on suspicion of leaving a bomb in central Phnom Penh. The bomb is suspected to be part of foreign criminal activities. A grenade caked in a white substance was found in a white bag by a garbage disposal employee. Cambodian Mine Action Centre specialists were called in and they dismantled the device. It's time for our weekly Moto Madness. Amid an uptick of nightly car crashes occurring in Phnom Penh, people have voiced worries that they feel unsafe to travel at night. And really, is anyone surprised by this? Many people are now calling for drunk drivers to be penalised severely to prevent such occurrences happening in the future. Most of the crashes happen late at night, as cars involved in these incidents are frequently driven by drunk drivers. A food delivery driver said he was very worried about having a traffic accident because some people were drunk driving, especially at night. He said that he has witnessed several late-night crashes involving luxury cars. And here are just 2 of this week's incidents. A car and a truck were involved in a spectacular smash on a Phnom Penh bridge. Witnesses say a large truck was driving along Prek Samrong Bridge. At the middle of the bridge, a grey Toyota Prius was reversing along the bridge and smashed into the truck at high speed, causing severe damage to both vehicles. The driver of the Prius agreed to partial responsibility and has paid $150 in damages to the truck driver. Slumbering householders in Phnom Penh had their sleep disturbed early in the morning after a wayward driver smashed into their house. He was driving a white Lexus NT200T. He lost control of his car and smashed into their house, causing serious damage. He has agreed to pay for the repairs, though. Lastly, some good news. It is the Day of the Jackal. The population of golden jackals in Cambodia has increased following bans on hunting the dogs in protected areas. The golden jackal was on the red list, and his numbers had dropped sharply due to hunting and snaring. Forest rangers have reported a significant increase across the country. And that brings us to the end of this week's news. You're now up to date with all of the most important events in the kingdom. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, have a great week, and we'll see you very soon.